Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave, and look at this adorable card that I have to share with you today. It's so easy and it uses two of my kind of favorite things. The first is this buffalo check background stamp, and then the second is I colored it with Stampin' Blends. I like this spirited snowman stamp set too. It's pretty cute. All right, let me show you how I put it together because it really is pretty simple. First of all, I die cut a square from the Stitch Shapes framelits, and I'm going to stamp my image in with some black Memento ink. And I'll go ahead and just ink that up. The reason I'm using Memento is because I'm going to color this with my Stampin' Blends, my alcohol-based markers, and so I want to use Memento ink for that coloring. All right, I'm going to set this aside and stamp the background stamp next. Now, what I love about this background stamp is it's really cute and goes with lots of stuff. Of course, this was designed to go with our stamp set here, but there's lots of different things that you can do with this. It goes for any occasion, any holiday, any season, which is of course one of my favorite parts about the whole thing. Whenever you can use something for more than one purpose, I really like that a lot. All right, so I've inked this up with my Highland Heather ink, and I'm going to stamp it onto Highland Heather cardstock. To do that, I will take and place my cardstock right on here. That allows me to do two things. First of all, I can put it on here nice and straight, and I'm going to just put a piece of typing paper over this, and then I'm going to grab a clear block. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm holding my cardstock in place, and then I'm rubbing it with this wood block. I want to make sure that I'm not moving my cardstock around because then the image will not be as crisp. Okay, there we go. I'm going to peel that off, and there is my stamped image. So cute. I'm going to set that aside to dry as well. And then we'll come back to our coloring now, because our stamp has had a chance to dry. Now what I'm going to do is kind of start from the bottom and work my way up. And so at the bottom, I've got Pool Party cardstock. And if you go to my blog link in the description of this video, you will see all the supplies that I used, the dimensions, colors, everything. So, and of course, if there's anything that you need to purchase or would like to purchase, you can shop my online store, and I'd be super grateful. Okay, so I've just colored the base of this with my darker Pool Party. Then I'm going to color in the snowmen a little bit with my lighter Pool Party. So I'm just kind of doing the corners here a little bit to give them dimension on each of the snowballs that make up the snowmen. So I'll do a little here. Oops, there's a fuzz on here, and a little here, and I think we are good. Okay, so those are done. Next, I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay and color a couple of spots. First, I'm going to do the scarf, and I like to start with the dark color first, so I'll just kind of go do a line of dark down this scarf as well as over here. And then let's see. Oh, we're going to do the brim of her hat matching in my Bermuda Bay too. And then I'm going to come in and blend it with the lighter color. So to do that, I always color and then this empty spot and then go over it, over the darker spot as well to blend it out. I like the look of that. Finish this up, and then we'll just do the little end of her scarf in the darker color. Next, I'm going to take my Granny Apple Green blends, and I'm going to do the brim of his hat as well as part of his scarf and then the holly. So likewise, I'm going to take the dark end, and I really like working with the bullet end. I think it's good to preserve the tips of my markers as well as giving me a little bit more accuracy, if you will. So then I'll put kind of the center of each of those holly leaves, then I'll blend the rest out. And I love this Granny Apple Green. I think the lighter Granny Apple Green is very close to Lemon Lime Twist, which is really nice. And just kind of go over these a little bit. There we go. I think we're good there. Next, I'm going to do some Highland Heather. So we'll do his scarf. I think I have the darker color here. And no, I'm not 100% sure. We're going to do her bow. Yeah, I do. Oh, and I'm also going to do the berries. Now, I'll color this in. One thing to note, occasionally I hear people having trouble with colors bleeding. And my suggestion for that is to make sure you're not going over things too many times really close up to the edge. Stampin' Blends are going to bleed just a little bit. So I've got my dark color now. If you look and see, I'm holding this and it is bleeding out. Okay, I started with a dot and it bled to that big blob. So same on my cardstock. The cardstock's thicker, so it'll slow it down a little bit, but the bleeding is still possible. So just be careful about that when coloring. Sometimes if I know I'm going to be blending a lot, I will kind of go right up to the point of the edge of the image, but not go over it. And I find that has helped me eliminate my bleeding. So I don't have too much trouble with that myself. Another suggestion is to use ultra thick cardstock, or thick ultra smooth cardstock, I should say, and that helps alleviate some of the bleeding as well. Okay, I've got two single markers. I've got a lovely lipstick light. I'm going to color the cute little heart with that. I could use both colors and get a little more blending if I wanted, but I kind of just wanted this to be a cute pink heart that they were holding back here. And then I'm also going to use my dark pumpkin pie so I can color that carrot nose. So cute. Finally, I'm going to color with the black blends. I've got light and dark. In this case, we'll continue to start with the dark. I want a little bit on the brim of the hat, as well as I'm kind of shading the hat. Now, I find it's a little bit more difficult to get a lot of blending on this black marker in such a small area, just because you're not coloring too much. But we'll see what we can get here. And I love that black is an option though, because I think there's been several times where I've wanted a black marker, and so I'm really happy we have that. This is one of the colors that was new in the holiday catalog. So it's not in the annual catalog. I suspect they'll continue to be available once the annual or the holiday catalog is over, but I don't know that for sure. So do not quote me on it. And there we go. So cute. Like I said, the coloring is really pretty simple. Okay, so we've got that done. Now we're going to add a little bit of fun by taking some clear Wink of Stella and coloring on a few spots. So first of all, I'm going to color on basically all of the snowmen, snowy part, as in the snowballs that make up the snowmen. And I think that adds a wonderful shimmer and fun. And then I'll also color on the snow bank of the snowman. So we're getting a good amount of shimmer on here. And the other thing that's nice about this is when you're coloring on an area you've colored with like watercoloring or watercolor pencils and whatnot, you need to worry about bleeding or picking up that color. Even on stamped images, some colors will kind of bleed. So here that won't happen because of the alcohol-based ink. So isn't that cute? It's so shimmery. Okay, now let's put this card together. There's not too much left. So I'm gonna adhere this. Oops, I just ran out of fast fuse. Figures. All right, there we go. I'm gonna put this onto a scalloped Coastal Cabana square that I die cut. And then we're going to place this onto our card. Now I've got some white classic weave ribbon, and I'm going to do kind of a fun little addition of ribbon, the zigzag, but I'm doing it kind of at an angle, so that's just a little fun and different. I want, before I commit to the size of cutting this ribbon, I want to make sure that it's enough to peek out on either side, and it is, so that's perfect. So cute. I love that they have little snowmen for us. Now I'm going to adhere this down with some fast fuse. You could use a few glue dots or snail adhesive as well. At the time of this video, there's fast fuse in the clearance rack. Just the refills are available. So if you're interested in that, make sure you get them while they last, because I don't think they'll be here much longer. All right, and I'm going to put a dimensional in each corner of this and then pop it up over that ribbon. And I like this because it adds a nice little embellishment touch without adding the thickness that a bow or a knot can sometimes create on a card. And we'll put that right over the top. And I've got a gorgeous grape card base that will adhere this to. And our last little touch is our sentiment, which is, actually we have two things. Our sentiment, which is Love Never Melts, that we're going to emboss. Okay, so I've got a little scrap of basic black cardstock. This is actually leftover from trimming cardstock, which I kind of love. And then I'm going to take my embossing buddy and just sort of drop it on there. And then we'll stamp the sentiment in white ink. I like white ink because it's craft ink, so that it will stay wet long enough to emboss, but also you can see where you've stamped, which is kind of handy. We're gonna put some white powder on here, like so. Tap that off, and then melt the powder. I think it's funny that I'm melting Love Never Melts by heat embossing. Banana punch. And punch this. I think that's probably good. And then we'll just adhere this to our card, like so. And then I'll turn it over and just snip the back. All right, so isn't that an adorable card? I will also show you on the inside of this card. I just stamped the sentiment and some snowflakes, and then I colored these in as well, so that was really easy. Anyway, if there's any of these supplies that you would like to order, please shop my online store. I have a fantastic VIP rewards program for people who shop with me, and I would love to welcome you to that. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for stamping with me today, guys. We'll see you again soon. Bye.